The truth behind the Love and Deepspace situation. Yeah. I've been hearing some drama going on about Love and Deepspace. Apparently, fem sales are crashing out because they was going to release a new love interest, which is the new werewolf, lone wolf type of guy. But it seems like people was mad about it because they didn't want the 5, love interests to get left behind. Which my thing is, like, I don't know why they would believe that. But again, so they was marketing all of this, right? This official Love and Deepspace was saying, they said, okay, we're not releasing them no more. We're sorry, guys, and we're not gonna let that happen again. Ridiculous. What do you mean you're not, like, do y'all understand? That's like Will and Waves not releasing the 3.5 characters. That's like NCE not releasing Shinku. That's like ZZZ not releasing Remio. Like that. Do you know how insane that is? Insanity. So let's see what the whole situation is about, because there has been some developments, guys.
Boys and girls, I say this without any exaggeration. This is one of the biggest catastrophes and disasters I've ever seen inside of a gacha game, and it reminds me.
Yeah, it low-key is, because I don't really have seen anything. Well, it has been situations for other gacha games, but it has not been a situation when a character has been teased and then they're not coming out, as far as I know. Not a game as big as Love and Deepspace. No.
Me back in the day when the Genshin Impact craziness happened and the ways life was getting threatened and all that stuff. This is up there on that level of crash out.
I was not there during that time. I mean, I was there, but I was like, bro, who knows what I was doing.
From the CN community side, at least. And then the developers,
I don't remember, I was too young.
And overcorrect, or just maybe just they're like being petty. And they announced that they're completely canceling the new update along with the brand new character. And then they announced that they're never dropping. They commit a promise saying they're never dropping new characters going forward.
That is absolutely stupid. Absolute stupid. I don't even know why you would do that, and I don't even know why fem sales would want that. Why would you even want that? That's like a terrible business model. Because for one, right? How would they even make, like, how do they keep, how many banners is in Love and Deepspace? So these guys have only had over 30 limited 5-star banners, focusing on one character myth banners. I don't understand how this even works. Like what? This doesn't make no sense. How many banners are you able to pull in a year? So based off this, it seems like one of the characters gets a new myth and you summon on that myth. Man, I have no idea, boy.
This is a nuclear topic of drama within the gacha space. And it's crazy because I just got back from a mini vacation, hanging out with friends and family, having a good time. I come back and it feels like the gacha space is on fire, literally due to this situation. It is exploding on Twitter. I want to just show you guys, just so you have some perspective here. Google Classroom is getting their ass beat again. Yep.
Man, do you think I care about some Google flipping Classroom? What do these guys think is going to happen? They really think that you, like, review bombing a game is going to do anything? Now, I did hear that it does get progressively worse, though. So I don't know why. Like, what is up with these gacha communities thinking they can go on Google reviews and just think that all of a sudden that's bad? Like what? Like, you know how stupid that is.
Google Classroom getting an ass whooping, boys. What's new, right? I know what's on the agenda. Google Classroom's ass whooping. That's what's on the agenda. It dropped down from 4.4 rating, Love and Deepspace, to 2.2. Then Styx updates it again, and it's down to
1.3 is kind of crazy. It is a little crazy, but at the same time, that's not making them lose money. We'll see if they lose money next month. Highly doubtful. They can still recover. Like, this is the beginning of the month. Like, they can still recover.
A 1.3 rating on Google Play Store. But apart from that, just to give you a quick little overview, the game has lost 1 million followers across Chinese social platforms.
Again, not going to do anything, but okay. All right, let's see. And plus, it's only, mind you, let it be known, it's only the CN players that's doing this. Let me just make that, yeah, I forgot to let that be known. Only CN players are mad about this, by the way. And let me just show you guys what gameplay of Love and Deepspace looks like.
It's the space.
NCE, take note. All right. Okay. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know how we got here either. I don't.
Happy?
Okay, yeah, no, get out. Get me out.
You come at me.
Mind you, this is the combat in this game, which unironically does look good. Now, the voice acting, I do beg to differ.
Or else you'll get hurt.
Yeah, but this was 2 years ago, so maybe it's gotten better. I did hear that they do be using some AI voice for some stuff.
It's your turn.
Okay, if you say so. It's time to meet your maker.
All right, never mind. Voice acting is a little bit better. Chill on me.
Amid the outrage, guys, this was over like 24 to 48 hours ago. They could have lost 3 million followers at this time. Protests turned physical, with players sending funeral flowers, cow dung, curse banners.
What in the flip is cow dunk? Are they talking about cow badonkadonk? Because if that is the case, that is disgusting. No.
Ritual items to the studio's office. Boy, y'all CN players be on some different shit. Sending some symbolical items at them, bro, to let them know you really ain't for these games is crazy work. It's animalistic, barbaric behavior, and honestly, I think these people need to be put in mental asylums.
Would therapy even help these guys? I don't know. Let's just put them in jail, see how they act after a couple of years. But this is insanity. Like I'm telling you, bro, when femcells crash out, femcells will crash out. They could be worse than incels. I'm saying, bro, I'm telling y'all, they don't play these games, boy.
In no way, shape, or form should you ever resort to IRL physicality to send a message to the developers. You send a message with your money. You send a message with your time. You send a message with reviews.
Exactly. I don't understand. No, forget the reviews, buddy. Stop playing the game. Just stop playing the game. Like Genshin Impact, right? Same thing with Genshin Impact. They was doing this whole Google Classroom reviews, but you're still over here like this whole Google Classroom reviews and all of that. When like no one good and well is still making 34 million. 34 million. And so like, okay,
giving Google Play Store a ass whooping. You can do it in those ways. It always works. It lets them know that you will completely stop supporting them and they will conform through those measurements. You never do this type of barbaric behavior. It's completely unhealthy, and the developer should never conform and reward this level of behavior. It's disgusting.
Yeah, and that's where they messed up at, because them saying we're not going to ever release any of these characters ever again, you messed up. See, you messed up. Quite frankly, you did mess up. I'm sorry, but you messed up.
In Chinese culture, such items symbolize death, wishes, or spiritual cleansing, highlighting the intensity of the reaction. This is one of the most extreme community backlashes seen in mobile gaming, raising serious questions about player, developer, dynamics, and live service title. My thoughts on this before we get into the details, because there are a lot of details, is the developers actually conforming to it was the worst thing they possibly could have done.
Easily the worst.
Right now,
Easily.
they're caught between a rock and a hard place. They're getting ripped in half from their CN community, and now they're getting ripped in half from everyone outside of CN, right? CN?
Exactly, because global people actually wanted it. That's the thing. Because global people wanted it. I don't know why the CN people did not want it. I don't even know what made them I don't even know what made them stop like the promotion in the first place. Like I don't understand that, but like
domestic territory. But outside of that, everyone else is mad. You know why? Because a lot of people were looking toward and forward to Volko, the new character and love interest in your game outside of CN. And now that you're canceling that, you're now killing that audience in trust and in their playtime on your game and their support to your game. And so you've now butchered that. That's going to be a shit show. And now the CN people are still going to be angry despite you doing what you thought they wanted. This is why you never conform and bend the knee to these people. They are mentally unwell. You could listen to them entirely and they would still be angry at you. And that is why it's the worst decision possible to do what you have already committed to. This is crazy, guys, because look, check this out. I'm going to the Anime Expo in less than 24 hours. And I look at this and they're going, notice of adjustments to Anime Expo 2026 on-site activities. This whole backlash even messed up what they were planning to do at the Anime Expo.
Dude, you're cooked, brother. Like at this point, like the future is not looking too bright, guys. It's really not. I don't know how Love in Deepspace is gonna. I mean, do I think they'll be okay? I think they will be okay, but like, bro, in the future, how are they gonna release new characters now? Their whole roadmap is cooked now, completely cooked. You're gonna have to redo the roadmap now. And then that doesn't mean that the global player is gonna like it. Honestly, yeah, I don't know, you could.
Dear Miss Hunters, after careful consideration, we decided to make adjustments to the on-site activities planned for Anime Expo. I can tell you right now, they were planning to have a big statue of Volko looking sexy, and everything was gonna be about Volko. Not anymore, not after that CN community backlash. And you know what's wild?
Man, they are cooked.
This is an Anime Expo in Los Angeles in the United States. Why the fuck are you changing your marketing in the United States for people upset in China?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Again, also, it's just a lot of like CN favoritism. Goes to show you the amount of favoritism that they have for the CN, and that's just not really a good look. Which again, this is why I don't really advocate for both games to be on separate versions of a thing. Like just like get them synced up.
They really got y'all by the balls. This is literally so sad. But you know what? The way I think about it is they don't have a choice. If they already announced that they're canceling Volko, then they have to just change everything up to the new.
Man, no, you don't. That's what I'm going to say. Grow some balls. Yo, that's crazy. That's crazy. Selling characters that do have them, so unironically, this is kind of like a little bit of correlation. But no, what I'm trying to say is, bro, stick to something and stick to it, bro. What do you mean that you canceling the character? No, don't cancel the character. Go back on what you said. You already, bro. This is pathetic. Honestly, this is like honestly infuriating.
Schedule of things that they're going to be doing, even if over here in the United States, people would love for them to stay true to what they were getting ready to do. The event will now feature activities centered around 5 love interests, the original 5 characters: Xavier, Zane, Raphael, Silas, and Caleb. So they changed the Anime Expo entirely due to this backlash in CN as well. Now they did say participants who have secured a spot in Volko's interactive sessions will retain their eligibility to participate. So I imagine there'll still be like a private booth inside of the.
Man, like you're doing all of this, man. It's just like, honestly, you know, it's just crazy. Honestly, no one has ever done this. I've never seen a company as big as this, a gacha as big as this. like literally bend the knee, unironically bending the knee for the CN players. Mind you, CN players. It's not a global NCN. No, it's CN players. Insanity.
Event inside of their whole booth where you can still have some experience with Volko. But bro is canceled. So like that's, you know what, now that I think about it, that's a legendary experience because you ain't never seeing Volko again. Oh my god, I mean, this is crazy, guys. And here's the funny thing, right? I would like to remind you that Volko is loved in the Western side. I would even say some people in
That's what I'm saying. Everyone loves Volko in the global side. Not everybody, but most people in the global side is like level-headed and like, okay. And then just from a company standpoint, you telling me how are the love interests, the 5 love interests going to keep on like going? Like it just doesn't, I don't know. I don't even know how they've been able to maintain this 5 love interests already. This game did come out in 2024, but like I don't know how they've been doing it.
Kinds of ways on Twitter. Let's get into it. Reason number 1 for the crash out of Volko. This person says, I'm a veteran player from the CN server. And keep in mind, CN server is going to be probably 100% women. You might have heard that there is a massive boycott happening in the CN community regarding the new male lead. I want to clarify the situation not to attack anyone who likes the new character, but to expose the developers' deceptive practices and bait and switch tactics. Here's why we are taking a stand, stopping our spending and halting our daily logins. This first one is very important. All the other reasons, I'm going to be like weighing in on them with my own thoughts and perspectives, but I think this person is explaining to a degree a large portion of the CN community players and how they are viewing these things versus how Western people would view them. But this first one, very important. Severe content drop and abandonment of the original 5 characters. The main storyline for the original 5 characters has been completely neglected.
Completely neglected with the longest update gap exceeding 500 days. The bond chapters and side stories that we have been waiting for are nowhere to be seen. Instead of finishing, they started. The devs are pouring all their new resources into a brand new character. Do these guys just not understand gacha games? Like what? I don't think they understand gacha games. Like, buddy, 500 days is crazy though. The longest update gap exceeding 500 days, that is insane. But at the same time, what have you guys been doing for the past other 500 days? This game came out in 2024. What? Okay.
With the longest update gap exceeding 500 days. The bond chapters and side stories that we have been waiting for are nowhere to be seen. So I imagine the bond chapters and side stories are even outside of the MSQ. So it would appear that just story on all fronts has been neglected for the 5 original characters, or love interests as they would describe it in Love and Deepspace. Instead of finishing what they started, the devs are pouring all their resources into a brand new character. Now this I find hilarious. First of all, I think they're entirely justified to get on the devs about this. But what I find hilarious is like, I feel like these women playing this Love and Deepspace game are just completely ignorant, not like as an insult, but as opposed to the usual gacha dynamics outside of Love and Deepspace.
Yeah, I don't think they understand that this is normal for gacha games. Like, buddy, do you really expect me? That's like, bro, that is like, I don't even know how to explain this in Wasn't Wave or ZZZ or MTE terms. Like, bro, that's just like, that don't even make no sense, boy. Like, bro, this got to be one of the most stupidest things I've seen of this whole gacha game thing. This got to be one of the most stupidest things. And I ain't even been in that long.
We over here in the mainstream space, we're like, oh, first time? Like,
exactly, first time. Like, this is nothing new. Like, this is nothing new. If you play gacha games, you know this is nothing new. Why are we pretending like this is nothing new? Like, are these guys just oblivious over there? Like, I don't know. No, I don't know. Femcells are a little bit crazy, I tell you.
All the time. Like, they drop a character, you get to know him for one patch, and then you never see him again. It's just...
Exactly. That is gacha games. You just don't get to know them at all. And hey, it sucks. When they come back in the story though, that's when they cherish them, and then that's how they release another character, and then that makes you pull that wallet out. So
the regular thing over here outside of the Love and Deepspace. And you know what? When I examine a woman as opposed to a male, these women are really deeply invested into these male characters.
Yeah, that's the thing. Somehow more deeply invested into them than incels are invested into our characters, which is like, it's so interesting to look at, because like we get a character, right? We get our one character that we call, that starts with M, ends with a Y, and then the new character comes out. We pretty much abandon bro, we abandoned the other one. They don't abandon them, and I think that might only be because like they started the game with the 5 of them, and it took them so long to get a new character. Maybe that's why. I don't know.
Almost in a loyal sense, they're in love with Silas, with Caleb, with whomever, to the point where they don't even want new male characters. They just want the new male character in front.
How much hours of content though? Honestly, ridiculous.
In front of them to constantly get character development, story progression, and go into a deep continuation of that particular character they like forever and ever. They would rather the same 5 characters constantly get story updates, attention, and progression than get new characters to
insanity. Listen, if I wanted that, I will go for somebody in real life, buddy. Listen, call me crazy, call me an incel, call me anything, right? But I'm not trying to stick with one character for the whole rest of it. Now listen, they can give me like content updates, patch notes of the characters. Still give me new characters though. Still give me new characters. Let's get that let me make that very clear.
Invest in all over again. And you know what? I don't fault him for that, nor do I blame him for that. To each their own, so on and so forth. I think some of that could be used in the mainstream gacha space. I genuinely do. I think some of that.
I don't, it depends. Like, I feel like some aspects, yes. I feel like they can make it to where we get characters or updates on characters, like maybe little hangout events or like, constant updates like that. But that means they're going to keep continue. They would have to dedicate like a person to that character. No, that sounds like, no. That's just not how these gacha games work. I'm sorry.
It's missing in the mainstream gacha space. But one thing that became apparent to me as I'm reading this from the CN vet is that Love and Deepspace does what I guess other gacha game companies don't commit to. They say when we drop these 5 new characters, we're going to continue to work on them and their stories.
And that's completely fine. But you got to think from a long-term standpoint, a business standpoint. Unless you are like, now they can do it. They can still update these characters while releasing new characters. But again, that's going to like, they might have to go a patch without getting an update. They might have to go 2 patch without getting an update. Just know they'll come back, but like to consistently keep doing that while releasing new characters is unsustainable. But then again, this is a multi-billion-dollar company, so you can find a way.
Was like, in the eyes of some of these CN players, was an admission that they are already preparing to do what gacha companies do and abandon the 5 main characters who already are on a 500-day drought of not getting updated in MSQ, and they're just going to instead sell you the new character with his story and put the 5 on the back burner, which is typically, again, what happens in the mainstream gacha space. So this is reason number 1 of the nuclear crash out from the CN community.
All right, reason number 1, is it valid? I guess 500 days without any new content update or anything for the characters, I guess. But my other question is, what have you been doing for the other 500 days? Or specifically 365 days, because this game came out in 2024. So what y'all been doing this whole time? That's my thing.
Do not support the crash out in the way that they went about it. I think they acted like rabid dogs, and they need to be institutionalized, bro. They need to be putting the goddamn things like this where they're wrecking back and forth. You throwing cow shit at their office, bro, sending them death wishes and
think about that. Somebody had to literally go to a cow and grab that, take it to them, and take it to the office. The amount of commitment, there's not a single well, Jane Doe does it 6.
Ritual bullshit. Nah, bro, that is not okay. It's absolutely not okay. And the thing is, in that culture, it's odd to me because I feel like the CCP should have cooked them. I'm pretty sure they got cameras everywhere in China to where these people could easily be jailed. I don't know. I guess that's outside of my realm of understanding, but I digress. I did want to give you some support of what I was talking about those 5 original characters. Rather than dropping new characters, they continue to work on them. This person says, a blatant bait and switch from day one, Love and Deepspace was strictly marketed in China as having exactly 5 romantic characters.
Oh, okay. Well, then never mind then. See, y'all already messed up. Like, y'all already messed up. Why would you market a gacha game for only 5 love interests? I mean, honestly, clearly it was working. Why did you go against that? Yeah, okay. Devs didn't listen, okay.
Countless players, including myself, invested heavily based on this established premise. Unilaterally forcing a 6th character into the game is a massive breach of trust and a violation of our consumer rights. We feel our financial and emotional investments are just being used as stepping stones to fund a new character we never asked for. And so this is going to supplement what I was telling y'all earlier. These people are going, we don't want any more characters. We want the 5 you promised us, and we want all the investment to go into those 5 characters.
Well, okay, yeah, it is valid. Not valid what they did though, but I mean, still, why would you market a gacha game and only have 5 of the you know how stupid that is?
And that's what y'all promised us in the beginning. Now, I don't know because I don't play Love and Deepspace, but I doubt this person would just make that up, right? I always welcome any types of information that more CN people can input on this video as I strive to bring an accurate analysis and coverage of it. But that's crazy because that's so vastly different from what everybody else is used to in the gacha space.
It's so different. That's why it's so interesting to look at, bro. This does not happen in the gacha game space. Nobody cares if they release a new character and abandon the old characters. Like, yeah, story wise, yeah, like obviously we will hope they still in the story, at least for that region specifically, but this is just what happens in the gacha game space. Like, that's why it's so interesting to look at what the crash out was. Definitely not valid. Definitely not valid. Definitely not valid.
All used to getting a bunch of different characters and just forgetting about the characters they initially just sold us. But moving on to the second reason why the CN crash out occurred. Keep in mind, this reason is going to tie into a lot of different information, perspectives, and just shit getting thrown on Twitter as to what's happening. It does kind of like, it's like the focal point of it. What makes us angriest is the double standard. Domestically, the game was strictly advertised as a female-oriented otome game, right? So a game only catering to women.
Otome, okay.
Yet overseas, it is being promoted to a general all-gender audience. Now, I find this very odd.
Huh, interesting. Okay.
This two-faced marketing proves the company is willing to lie to its core audience just to maximize profits. So this is the perspective of this CN vet. Not the fact. This is their perspective. This is how they are viewing. They're saying, you told us you're only going to promote this to women, but overseas, you're promoting this to women and gay people. That's how their perspective.
Let's hear this one more time if this is the case. Because if this is the case and they crash now about this.
I'm going to promote this to women, but overseas, you're promoting this to women and gay people.
So let me get this straight. You're mad that they're promoting it to women and I ain't gonna lie, y'all lost all y'all aura, y'all lost. All y'all aura, bro. You lost all of it. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, y'all already lost it when y'all was throwing cow badonkadonk at the place, but
that's how their perspective is viewing this. And they're saying, this is Two-Face, you're lying to us. I think this is a bit fucking weird, I'm gonna be honest. Because you guys are kind of like just schizoing out due to, I guess I don't know, some of you, and I'm not gonna say this is all CN, but definitely you and the other core audiences. Your, I guess, disagreement with gay people is getting in the way of your judgment of the marketing.
Yeah, this is definitely weird. Definitely weird. Like, definitely. Like, what the? That's so, like, what? That's gotta be the most, bro. Y'all lost any aura if you even had any, if that is the reason.
Marketing could very well be the exact same marketing that you're getting over there at CN, but because over here in the West, where LGBTQ is accepted, you are thinking they're promoting to all general audience, but they're just doing the same promotion, but gay people are going, hell yeah, yes, bitch, he's hot.
Exactly what he said. I'm not doing it, by the way, because have I practiced that before back in the day? Maybe with the homies in high school, but like, bro, I'm a grown man now. We didn't graduate high school. Watch out.
Like, all of that is happening. It's just an inherent thing that's going to happen over here in the West and other places that accept it. And y'all are going, wow, this is Two-Face. I'm like, what? No, it's not Two-Face, bro. What the fuck are you waffling about? You might not see that in CN. That doesn't make it Two-Face to do it in other regions. But it's fascinating to me because I'm seeing maybe this is the mentality, and they feel this way. The CN vets or community over there in China, they feel this way, and that's how they're viewing it. And so they're mad about it. And it's like, what?
Yeah, that gotta be the most stupidest. Like, y'all losing again. You lost so much aura if the reason why you hate it is because they're literally promoting this to women and gay men or just gay people.
Let's continue on. Why this matters to you? This person is saying this should matter to us.
Buddy, nobody get. Let me chill. Mind you, this is only the CN femcell base. It's not the global CN femcell. Not CN. It's not the global femcells. So we do have to take that into consideration. But this does not affect. This doesn't. Let's hear it out.
Reasoning. We aren't here to police how global players feel. Well, low key.
That buddy, you're not here to police. Okay, yeah, these guys. Wow. You know what? I'm starting to see a little bit of similarities between the gacha like community over here and the CN community. I'm now seeing that. See, people like to think that we're that far apart. Not really, because you're literally going based off. You said it's a problem that they're being two-faced, but then you're over here saying that we aren't here to police how global players feel. Okay,
you're doing it indirectly by getting mad at the developer, though. But please understand, the CN server contributes the vast majority of the game's revenue. Although this may come off as like condescending and pompous to somebody reading this person, it's true though. The CN side does contribute to the vast majority of the game's revenue.
Sure, I guess, sure. No debate on that, no argument on that, but at the same time, that doesn't mean that y'all get to dictate the game. Oh, you think you is, boy? Okay, I'm joking. I'm trying to fight for the femcells over here, guys. Relax.
Revenue, therefore, they would be the core audience. That is true, as much as you don't want to hear that. We're fighting this battle because if the developer learns they can get away with abandoning older characters and breaking their core promise just to chase new markets, they will eventually do the exact same thing to you. Now, I actually agree with this mentality, but here, like,
I kind of agree. Did they even promise that on the global side, though? Like, did they really promise that on the global side? How was this even marketed on the global side for that to even be a decent argument? At the end of the day, how? But okay.
They already do that. They already do that over here.
They don't know, bro. These got to be new gens. This game did come out in 2024 though, so I don't think they just understand the whole gacha company, all of that.
So everybody's normalized it. They're used to it. They're used to developers selling you characters and then abandoning characters and selling you new ones. And so this isn't a problem over here in the West, or probably in other territories outside of CN, because that's kind of what already happens in gacha games.
Brother, it happens in CN too. That's why I'm not understanding why they doing this when it literally happens for CN gacha games. It's making no sense, bro. Y'all looking slow. I'm just keeping it a buck.
It's only a problem to the CN side because you're playing a Love and Deepspace game with a unique dynamic in its gacha predatory practices, where it's actually only had 5 characters for, I guess, it came out in 2024. So I guess going on 2.5 or going on 2.5 years, somewhere around there. And so y'all are finding this odd. In reality, the new Valko character getting pitched to people in the West is nothing but excitement because we're already used to the dynamic over here of getting new characters.
The fact that it even lasted this long without a new character just goes to show you how incredible Love and Deepspace is. I don't know. Again, I don't know how they've done it. I don't know how they've done it, but okay.
To pull on and acquire as a collection to what we already own. Now, I can understand the CN players saying we're fighting this battle because they promised us these 5 characters that they were going to continue to update them. It's been 500 days. Fuck y'all. I understand that mentality and understand fighting.
Yeah, that I understand that. What I don't understand is you throwing the cow poop at the, that, quite frankly, ridiculous. And then another thing, who said that they can't update them as the characters come out? That's like, you guys are mad at the wrong thing, in my opinion. But
the battle, I don't understand how y'all let them go 500 days without doing it. I feel like you're a little bit late to that battle.
Right, like, bro, you like what? Like, where you been? Like, where have you been? Where have you been? I guess new character, like the kitchen and the knife in the kitchen. I don't know what analogy that is. Yeah.
But the way y'all have went about it, the physicality, the in-person cow shit, death wishes, and all that is the most embarrassing, disappointing, and criminal behavior and barbaric actions to get these things done. As I said before, you leave bad reviews, you uninstall the game, you stop spending money. All of these will do.
Just uninstall the game. Simple, bro. Simple. Heck, you don't even have to uninstall the game. Just don't spend money on the game, bro. Simple.
The exact same thing, and it'll do it in a diplomatic and mature way that can still achieve the same result. But see, this whole thing that you just did kind of just like blew up, and now the devs are saying they're never releasing new characters again, and people are like, wait, what? Over here in the West. Well, when you see this context, now you see why the devs saying they're not releasing any more characters. And I feel this was important to look at because I think a lot of people are going, what do you mean you're not releasing any new characters? What an overcorrection! What an overreaction! Are you guys idiots? Are you insane? Apparently, that was what they wanted in CN. No new characters, just those 5. Focus on them. And so this gives a lot more understanding to the situation for me personally, because my first knee-jerk reaction was, what? No more new characters? If that's what the people wanted in CN, and the CN people are paying the most money, then that kind of makes sense. Now let's look at this pie chart right here to supplement this. Yeah, so check this out. Love and Deep Space revenue distribution by region Q2 2026. Now take it with a grain of salt in terms of the
holy guacamole. 70. Okay, you know what? I can understand a little bit why they I can understand. That being said, though, still stupid.
Get spot on accuracy.
Still, like, they could have, honestly, they messed up, bro. They messed up. Yeah, they messed up.
See of it, because there's no source for this. This is just some Twitter user.
True, this is one Twitter user, but it does have 1 million views. Take this with a grain of salt, though, because this is on Twitter, aka
with a bunch of likes and stuff. But if there's no source for it, I take it with a grain of salt. That said, 76% of mainland China is responsible for the spending in Love and Deep Space, and then Hong Kong's under 4%. So we can actually just say that's 80%. Then you have 11% United States, right? That's the West. You have Japan and South Korea. That's the East. And then you have 3% Europe and 1% Southeast Asia. Now, I did ask Grok earlier, or I guess it deleted it, the validity of this, and Grok was like, yeah, no, I don't really see any source verifying these exact numbers. I think Grok said it's actually more closer to 60% based off data I can scrap from other sources, but we can definitely come to a conclusion that CN is spending the majority of the money. And so when you look at this and we say, let's say it's 60%, not 76, 60%, and then you add in Hong Kong, probably a little bit more than that, doesn't matter. That is the majority of their spending. And so if that particular player base is complaining, guess what? As a business, you're going to...
Yeah, completely understand. From a business standpoint, from a guy that owns multiple businesses as myself, completely valid. The way they went about it, though, not valid. And the way the CN players went about it, not valid. But at the same time, they put themselves in this situation. So honestly, I can't even blame them. I can't.
They are the ones spending the most money. Those are the people we're going to adhere to. That's just business, guys. You can be mad at it all you want, but that's what they're going to do as a business. They're going to look at that and go, well, shit, looks like we're going to have to adhere to them. You know, we're going to have to go to the highest bidder. This information gives a lot more data to me. Now, here's the funny thing. This person saying that the deceptive practices, you're targeting gay people and all this stuff, it's weird because I'm like, where is this coming from? What do you mean they're targeting like gay people overseas? Like, are you saying that Volko is for gay people? Because that wouldn't make sense. He's just a hot, buff dude. Of course, gay people will be attracted to him. That doesn't mean all gay people are going to be attracted to him, but gay people will be attracted to him as well as women. To say that he is like for a gay audience is
bro, there's not even any marketing for that. In that, like, there's not even like, but you know how stupid this sounds, boy. I have never seen an ad for Love and Deep Space, by the way. Mind you, my For You page on TikTok keeps showing me ads for dating apps that I do not how do I say this, for dating apps or genders that I do not want to date. So if that was the case, I would have saw that, by the way, which I do not want to date those genders, by the way. I don't know why TikTok keeps doing that. Like it does it. Hold on, it do this for everybody. It do that for everybody, not just me. All right,
let's go. You're delusional. And I've been seeing this being supplemented online to the point where now I understand it's a cultural difference in what is depicted as male attraction. What makes a male attractive in Eastern culture versus the Western culture? And believe it or not, I've seen this. If you ever look at Eastern games, you'll see the male characters are incredibly pretty, almost too pretty, to the point where you might even think they look like women. But this is a depiction of male attraction over there in the East a lot. And furthermore, you'll see very rarely in all of these games a buff male character. You usually see they're quite slender, they're in shape, they got the six-pack, they got the chiseled chest and the toned arms, but they aren't buff. This also happens to do with, again, that East versus West depiction of male attraction and what they like ideally as a male attraction. So this kind of supplements it. And then when you see like somebody like this guy, which I'm going to see if I can find it here real quick. Yeah, when you see this guy, which to be honest, he's buff, he's swole.
Definitely. Well, I'm trying to think of the characters that's in the game. Don't ask me how I know this. Do not ask me how I know this. I've done this for research purposes only. This has to be the buffest guy in the game.
But there's even swoller people out there. I mean, you're talking to a personal trainer, so there's like different levels of what I view as a swole person. But you've got people saying, by the way, the CN fan base doesn't want Volko because he's tan, that's fucking hilarious.
Here we go. Oh, okay, these guys have lost all the order that I thought they had. All of it. If you think that's tan, you gotta be colorblind. Who's gonna tell them? Like, who's gonna tell them?
I guess, what am I? I guess I'm black as fuck.
That's like what I mean. Just look at me. I mean, guys, if I were to turn my light off, actually, let's not even do that and turn that into some embarrassing clip I look back on in my future career, which I've already done looking at my TikTok.
To CN people. I've already covered this in the past though, by how CN people or Easterners view different skin tones. They think as white as possible is as perfect, is equating to as perfect as possible.
Of course, that they think of course.
It's a thing. It is. And like the freaking the darker your skin over there, the more they view you as like a peasant or somebody who doesn't make a lot of money, or you come from poverty or like a lower class. That's just the way the culture is. And to be fair, when you look at their history, a lot of the farmers and lower class people were out in the fields in the sun getting it in because they didn't have a lot of money. And so it is more of like kind of like a cultural misunderstanding across the board, but they do have—
I will hope so, and it's not of stereotype of certain things that will not be named. Let's just hope that is the case.
Have an inherent prejudice or racism inside of their culture due to this. I don't even know if it's harmful. Like, I don't think it is. I don't think there's malice
Nah, it
behind
definitely is. If I were to walk over there and they were to say, no, I would agree. No, this definitely is harmful. It definitely is harmful. Let's not say that.
It's just kind of how the upbringing occurred. Of course, CN people could always provide more insight down below. But
yeah, CN players, if you somehow understand my language, go ahead. Highly doubtful though.
Which is crazy to say. And he's $2. As funny as this is, and as funny as it sounds to us, this is a sentiment shared by a lot of them. And so once again, another misunderstanding culturally where they think they're like promoting to the West and they're promoting the gay people. And it's like, bro, we're just making a hot male character. Like, what?
This is what y'all wanted. This is what y'all signed up for. You guys signed up for characters that can allow themselves to put their BWC in the EMZ, by the way. I'm not understanding how we got here, but okay.
It's odd to even view it that way. Now, I brought up more people to kind of like supplement this. I brought up Captain Cabinet. Eastern women, especially in Otome romance communities, prefer men that are androgynous. That means like they're like a mixture of a pretty boy with not overly buff, like but a good enough muscle to still look attractive, youthful, and more slim. I completely agree. If you look at any Eastern games, you can see this is true.
Yeah.
Why do you think idols look the way they do? Buff, rugged men are often seen as something that's more gay-centric. They also see buff men as being a bit more intimidating and unsafe. These are all bars she's spitting, by the way. This is the difference in culture, though apparently there are movements in China to change this mindset and aim for a more balanced outlook on masculinity. What are your thoughts? So she shows a person that is typically going to be the male attraction in CN community.
You know what? That sounds about right. This does sound about right. It sounds about right, yeah.
Or even, I would even say Eastern. Here's another picture of the guy with like a bulging bicep, basically. A nice toned bicep. Now let's look at some of the feedback of the communities. This is where shit gets crazy. All right, this is where you start to see the Western side versus the Eastern side. You start to see racism, prejudice, because here's the thing I will—
All right, here we go. Yep, here we go.
Say, guys, there are absolutely a lot of racist CN people. There's a lot of racist—
Bro, this whole ideology of them thinking for when he's 10 and that's a bad thing, automatically. What do you mean that you are looked down upon because you have... Just stop.
Western people. But the thing is, people think that this doesn't exist, and it exists. It has existed since the dawn of like gaming. You're able to see it thanks to the advancement of social media and technology.
That's what's so interesting to look at the CN player was, but
allowing you to see, the thoughts of different sides. We're never having this because of a bunch of insane cunts in China thought this character was too tan and Western. I hope all future updates for every lead they love will look like shit to them in the future. So that's one. All right, now here's some of the CN players' perspectives. Keep in mind, it's about to get a little insane. It's about to get a little out of control here. There really are so many Western white whores that you've forgotten who your main donor is.
Woo! We have gotten into some crazy stuff. That is insanity.
Only beggars would be grateful for free stuff, right? It should be African refugees. Yeah, it's about to get insane, boys. I'm gonna be honest with you. Let me give you some advice. Make this a region exclusive. We in the CN server can just do without it. I think they're talking about Volvo.
Bro, make this a region exclusive. We in the CN servers can do without this. 3,000 likes, by the way. If you, oh my, hold on.
It's not really catering to our aesthetic standards anyway. In the future, just make a limited version for whichever market you want to expand to. See, this is supplementing the very thing I just explained to you. If you want to break into the African market and make a black character, I don't care. Just don't put them in my game.
In your game? This is insanity. Femcells, okay, loving Deepspace community, CN side specifically, lost all my respect, quite frankly. This is just like, dang, I thought these guys had an aura. I guess I was wrong. Femcells are basically the same as incels, which unironically, I don't even know why I even thought they weren't. Like, I don't know why.
I want to remind you, Volko, let's find him. This is the guy.
Right, this is like, are we just like, gotta be slow a little bit.
Brother, man, this is not black. Holy. I support. All right, continuing on, another one. And these are the people info will cater to. Get lost, you dumb pig. Get it straight what game you're playing. This is China's game, and anything that doesn't respect Chinese players sure as hell don't belong here.
Insanity.
Chinese games are, of course, serving Chinese players, and if we don't like it, whoever it is just has to die. If you got the guts, don't go online and claim those 30 draws. Oh my. My God, who's the parasite? Chinese players are the main body, you idiot. You can play the game all because you're picking up leftovers from the Chinese. You know that beggar like idiot. If you got the guts, don't play Chinese games at all. Who the hell do you think you are? The money you spent couldn't even afford a single hair on your favorite male lead. You get to play this game at all because we poured our cash into it.
You know what? I'm not going to even try to chat. Like, I'm not going to even try to trash on CNN because they actually is doing, like, I can't even judge. Ooh, I was about to say something, but low-key, I can't. They not really lying, though, actually, low-key.
Cry about it. You're nothing. Are you crying so desperately already? Stop kneeling and playing games made by Chinese people, or even the deceased parents won't be able to stand by and watch. I can read more of this stuff, but the truth is, guys, this is a reality of a lot of these players. They're mentally unwell in the head. They get on.
Bro, they're unironically the same as the players over here, like that, which is kind of insane. Like,
they get on their pompous high horses and start like trying to look down on. It gets out of control, dog. It really does. Apparently, a lot of CM players are cheering for winning the war against Wolf, but they're also still mad because of the 731 issue. Okay, now here's another issue. This is another reasoning as to why people are mad in China. Apparently, there's this issue. Apparently, the banner where he shows up outside of NC's apartment is a direct reference to a real criminal stalking case that
what is going on in the Love and Deepspace community? Genuinely, brother.
happened in China. I've seen people say some of the voice lines are very similar to details from the case, though I can't personally verify whether that's true. If it is true, I think there's a difference between exploring a fantasy and fiction and potentially drawing a direct inspiration from a real life stalking case involving an actual victim. I think there's validity to that perspective, right? I think that if they're drawing from real life inspirations, they obviously need to get the approval of the people that were affected before they proceed to do that. And if they didn't, they're out of pocket. However, if they did, then I think it's fair game. But something tells me they probably didn't get the approval of any of these.
I don't even know why they would make this a plot line. I mean, I understand the fantasies. I mean, I've done a whoa, let me relax on that before I even say anything. And I don't mean like I meant like, no, I don't mean fantasy is like stalking, like, oh my my career's over. My career's over. I don't mean stalk.
So people who take problems with that in China, it's an overly sensitive topic. I think it's completely valid and another reason as to why they're crashing out in China. Now, overall, I think when I'm looking at all of this stuff, it does seem to be a cultural clashing, a cultural disparity between the East and West. And then you've got people like, you know, doing what people do on the internet, especially in the gacha space, which is get vitriol, get malicious, and start crashing out and saying very unreasonable.
It's so crazy how this is really just a gacha space. Honestly, I thought the film sales would, you know, be a little bit different, but not really. They look pretty much sound the same as the people over here, unironically.
Things that don't contribute to the betterment of Love and Deepspace at all. I think the worst thing the Love and Deepspace developers could have done was conform and delete Volko. I don't think that solves anything.
Easily one of the most stupidest decisions these devs have made. Easily. These
crybabies online in the CN community are still going to bitch no matter what you do. So that was just an L on your behalf. All you did was put a knife in your own side for the rest of your audiences that do like Volko. I think the best thing you could have done was what you actually already did with your letter, which I would like to now bring this up because I think this is very important. In this letter, they shouldn't have announced number one. This was the dumbest thing they could have announced.
Yeah, we have decided to cancel both the launch and any further development of new love interests. We also commit that no additional love interests will be introduced in the future content plan. Absolute stupidity, quite frankly.
We decided to cancel both the launch and any further development of new love interests. We commit that no additional love interests will be introduced. This is the dumbest thing you could have done. You're a fucking idiot. It was a knee-jerk emotional reaction, and you kind of just showed that y'all don't have any backbone. What you should have done was all this right here. Going forward, the entire team will focus on further developing the stories and long-term companionship experiences of our 5 existing love interests. This is what you should have done, while ensuring a stable pace of main story production and update. Raphael, all of our characters, they're going to be getting their MSQ updates that we should have been delivered you guys. We effed up. We're sorry, but it's going to happen. It's going to happen in July. This is what they're describing. It's going to happen in August. It's going to happen in September. You are going to get the thing we said we promised we would do. We apologize. But what we will not do is delete Volko. We will not delete this update. Too many of our team members have poured their hard blood, sweat, and tears into making this come to life. They haven't done anything wrong. They only listened to what we told them to do. And a lot of people do want this update to go through anyways. It can't be done. We've already gone too far for it. It's going to come out whether you like it or not. That said, if you want to skip this update entirely because you don't support it, you can do so. But if you are looking forward to those male characters coming out with their MSQ updates, we are going to deliver them to you promptly and swiftly. That's the best thing you can.
I mean, at this point, go ahead and just join their team. Like,
done, who you would have lost anyway. And I'll be honest with you, the fact that they're crashing out this hard about their love interests, they would have came back anyway for July characters. They would have been there anyway. You just would have had to weather the storm, listen to these crybabies bitch and moan on the internet, and all would have ended up being well the minute you delivered those MSQs for the characters they fell in love with. It's clear they fell in love with pixels, fictional pixels, to the point where they're this emotional. Some of these mentally online people, they get so overly emotional that they show you that they'll still support your game the minute you drop what you want them to drop. Hey, it is what it is. I will say this game has lost like millions of followers across the platform. I think they lost a lot of momentum. I do think this is going to put a massive crutch in the game's reputation because the developers bent the knee, and you do not bend the knee. It's never going to look good for y'all. But it is what it is, man. There's also all kinds of stuff that you can look at on Twitter. I've opened up a plethora of threads here showing how many different people feel about it. Here's one saying, bring back Volko, where they have 90,000 signatures. And keep in mind, guys, this was like, yeah, June 30th at 3:42 p.m. It's the first at 12:37. This was like 19 hours ago. This petition thing could very well be at 200, 300,000 people saying bring back Falco. That's a lot of people petitioning to bring back Falco. There's a lot of things happening on the internet that are pretty much like splitting the communities in half among CN versus the rest of people's sentiments. This is a disaster. Yeah, there's no other way to put it.
This is a complete embarrassment and a disaster. This has never happened in the gacha game before. Hold on, wait a minute. So this comment just explains something. I appreciate you talking about it. Info never lied about 6 love interests. When Caleb, the 5th love interest, was introduced on a couple of in-game screens, there was a bubble saying coming soon below Caleb's icon. The same happened when, what's his name, 4th love interest was added. I don't know about you, but coming soon means there's another love interest in the making. So it seems like it's basically just a toxic community of the CN players, which is just like insanity. Like CN trying to rewrite history as usual, but their first demand was his removal. And honestly, I think that's a good way to just leave this, or like leave this be. It seems like not even everybody was mad, only a select few of people, and they just bend the knee. Would I have done that? No. But as a business, like as a guy that owns like multiple businesses, like all that, right? I still wouldn't have done it. Like I would have made like, okay, you guys, if you want to skip the patch, you can skip the patch. Something like that. There's definitely ways I could have done that. But again, Love Deepspace showing that these fem cells and the CN version is not, they don't have that much aura as I thought, guys. And they honestly are the same as people over here. That being said, I'm about to go play with my 2D waifus now and not cause a ruckus and throw cow poop on, you know, civilians.